leave it to Clark to screw things up. I had a lot of good meat on this Crucible until a few minutes ago. I had the too many plinth blocks under the Crucible and I went to shut the lid and smash it. But there is no linear cracks running down from where I busted it, so we're going to use it. I've got more coming. I'm going to have people going, why are you using such bad Crucibles? You try to get as much life out of one as you can. Hello my friends. Yesterday I had made a video that was supposed to be this part of it, and after reviewing it and seeing how I was screaming and yelling and cussing and throwing stuff, I wasn't in my best mood yesterday, and it's all Brian Block's fault. Brian made the comment the other day that I seem to be doing better with less failures. And I told him, I hope you didn't just jinx me. Dadgummit, if I didn't pour every single casting failed. So thanks, Brian. I was gonna be doing Keith Rucker's stuff that came in last week, but I'm steadily trying to plug away and keep the Cloud 42 castings going through the door as I can. And since I scrapped every single one the other day, I had to stop everything and remold these and pour them. So Josie's trying to get the this side of the building where we could go ahead and enclose it and keep it warm. And she's been in here working on that, and she's knocking it out pretty good. Oh, this was open. Now, yeah, we got a lot of serious mudding to do, but at the same time, eventually we're going to have a drop ceiling in here. It's going to come to about where that beam intersects the wall. We're not worried about the appearance. We're just trying to get everything insulated and get the insulation secure. Just wanted to show you some of the rejects as I'm loading the truck to make a scrap run tomorrow. So I'm having difficulty. I have been having difficulty with my pours. My furnace, the one I switched over to, was doing great, and all of a sudden, no, it's not. And it may possibly be because we're running the furnace when it's around 40 degrees. I don't know. But, you know, there's so many variables involved that I never can nail exactly what's going on. It just eventually works its way back out, which is not a good feeling. I stay on top of everything as far as trying to be as consistent as possible, but the weather is one thing I can't control. I'm not the government. Stopping for now and picking up all these rejected cloud castings. That's just half of them. And then I'm gonna focus on cleaning the place up. I was talking to Keith the other day. Well, he called me right when he had that accident, and I called him the day, and I was telling him, you know, I almost had an accident yesterday. I almost pulled a Keith and a Mike Wiggins, but luckily I was stepping down off a ladder, and I had a mold right there at the bottom, and it was too close to the ladder, and I stumbled, and I had my hands full, and even though I didn't hit the ground, I feel like I did because I was jerking and snatching and using every muscle possible to avoid hitting the ground. And I got way too many sharp objects that are rusty and razor sharp laying around here that would set me back probably, possibly. I'm probably looking at around 4 tons of cast iron scrap that I have to haul off. I've had people in the past ask me why I don't just melt the scrap back down. If it was bronze, if it was aluminum, yes, I would, but not with gray iron, because when you inoculate it, you're steadily adding silicon back to it, and there's no way for me to monitor how. I don't have a lab here yet. I've got a lab, I don't know how to use it. I have a lot of scrap iron I need to haul off and get it out of here, and it'll give me a little side change to reimburse me for all the fuel I've been wasting to produce bad parts lately. That and crucibles. As we get the other furnace up and running, which, by the way, will not require crucibles, if it will work as I'm designing it to, we will be free and clear from one less consumable other than the fuel. We ought to be in good shape. I scrapped out every single thing I poured yesterday, and I scrapped out every single thing I poured 2 days ago, and I scrapped out every single thing I poured 3 days ago, 4 days ago. So when you figure the amount of hours to make just one mold, let alone screw them all up, you get to a point where you're about to have a nervous breakdown. Even me. I mean, I consider myself as cool, calm, and collective as they get. But I was a raging maniac yesterday. And it gets like that sometimes. You guys that have been following me for a while know that I take a lot of bad hits, and this is one of them. And, you know, for those of you that think this is easy and think you're going to just pick up and do what I'm doing, I'm going to warn you, it takes a crazy person to stick with it. It's very disappointing, and yes, it will drive you into major depression at points. And I'm not bipolar, but this kind of work will bring it out of you sometimes. I am going to attempt to get some of Keith's straight edges going, and I also have my own product that I am working on that's going to be available hopefully by the 4th of July. And it's a pretty cool looking meat press. All right, I've ranted enough. But anyway, guys, I just wanted to explain why it's taking me so long to get anything done around here right now. With the cloud castings, I do have a few that I've shipped out. Just wanted to show you what's going on outside in the grind and cleanup area. It's been getting bad out here. Josie's been helping me pick up. She's already knocked a good dent on that side of the rail. And this is nothing but a junk collector. It's handy for laying parts across the beam as I'm grinding them. I just removed a vise that was right there. Got it right there. I got 2 vises down there. And what I've decided I'm going to do, because you can't walk around out here because this thing's so long, so what I'm going to do is make 2 small stations, one for the vises, and what I'm doing, I'm getting ready to cut these 2 long beams out and just save the end here as a workstation table. I'll beef it up a little bit better. That's going to be pretty heavy duty though. And I'm going to do the same thing down here. You can see where I've already marked it. And I'm going to cut there. And I'm going to cut, I already cut this beam, but I'll have an end table here. And that will help me keep this area less cluttered. And at the same time, make it to where I can get around all the stations here. So anyway, that's my plan. We'll see how it looks later today. I got a lot of straightening up to do yet. Eddie's coming out, and I'm going to have him help me handle these long rails. These angle iron are 6" by 6" by 1/2 inch thick. They're pretty heavy, and I hate to cut them. That it would serve me better to get rid of this midsection. It's slow go.
Yeah, like I say, if you want to do something else, we can tug it over here with my winch tomorrow.
I got 2 feet to go.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
That's
almost
okay.
there.
You're going to be here tomorrow getting that last 2 feet.
Yeah.
I'll have to have you take a look at the bank and see how many more trees you want me to rip out.
Okay.
Josie said that we had done enough for today.
You know, I'd forgotten what you said about that winch.
Yeah.
I guess I was excited to hurry up and get this thing over here.
I hear you. I'm going to head off to my shop and I'm going to grab my winch anyways, in case we want to winch something else tomorrow.
You never know.
You never know. This is a good place for that winch.
Man, that thing is so heavy.
It's tight, yeah. But you never know. We may want to winch something else tomorrow, or we may want to winch something on Sunday.
So we had a whole bunch of trees like those saplings in the back, and Eddie and Josie have been hooking to them and dragging them out. And another one. But this is some of the root system that's going down into the ground. Turns out what we have here so far weighs 860 pounds as far as the furnace that's under construction, which means we're going to have to double up on that trolley system on the wheels in order to distribute more weight. The current setup is only for 1,000 pounds, and at 860 pounds, we're going to be well over that by the time we ram up the inside of the sidewalls. I still haven't built the core. We got as far as this. Eddie was able to cut these circles out for me, and that's going to be the frame that we're going to wrap whatever material we're going to use for the core sides. That's what that's going to be for. And we'll probably be getting on that very soon now that the temperatures are starting to come up a little bit. So once we line the sides of this on the inside here, I don't know if you can see down in there, that's just a steel sidewall so far, but we're going to have a thick liner all the way around the inside of this shell, which is going to put us over 1,000 pounds. And then we have a pan that's made up of a bed of sand for the bottom of it, which is going to contain the molten bath, plus the 400 pounds of iron that goes in it is going to put us around 1,500 pounds. So, like I said, we're definitely going to have to at least double, if not triple, the trolley wheels up there, because we're also going to be carrying a 60-gallon fuel tank that's going to be linked to this whole system as it runs throughout the building. We're getting very close, so keep your fingers crossed. I am, that all this works the first time like it should. My buddy Stan Zinkoski, Jeff, and Ben, they came by last week, and Stan dropped off this digital scale for me to use while they're over in Alabama, and I'm going to be using that to set my safety limits. I've got to knock out an aluminum job before I go any farther. This is the grind and clean area in progress. We have, I didn't show you much about this because it was such a mess. I had a 20-foot table that ran all the way down through here, and actually this is part of it. And I said, you know what? That's not doing anything, but yeah, and I'm doing it again. It's collecting a lot of crap, and we can do away with that and utilize more of the floor area here if I get most of that rail out of here. So I took and cut the ends. This is one end of it. This is the other end, and I have I'm still working on this, but this is my workstation for grind and cleanup. Got all my anvils, and this anvil here my dad had for years on the back of a bumper of a truck he used to run around in, and it's an old Craftsman. The base, the nuts were wore out on it for the swivel base, and I said, well, I'll just put it straight on here. That is not up to safety code, by the way. I know that, but it works. But anyway, I still got to mount that grinder there. And I think this will make a major improvement. All my grinding tools and all that's in that cabinet. Let me tell you the story about this cabinet. When I used to work at Siemens Energy and Automation, that was way back in the late 1900s. We always had a bunch of scrap metal left over from the brake press back there, so I drew up my own little box and had them. I had this guy named Unc. He was one of the welders, and I had him weld it up for me because I couldn't weld, still can't. This is the phase converter that's going to be operating a lot of the equipment, including that pedestal grinder. Eddie and I are probably going to try to get that down. I want to put it about where this is and get it away from the edge of the building. Before I go moving any more heavy stuff, yeah, I'm still not through cleaning up, but it's coming. We're probably gonna, I don't know if you can see it in the video, but the ground just slopes this way. We're probably gonna fill this in with dirt. I haven't decided yet. And the hydraulic package is going to take the place of the International. Once we get this going, we're going to be able to get rid of this in order to power that. Now, once we get this going, there's not going to be a need to crush any more rotors, because we're going to be laying these down right here on this pedestal, and they're just going to slide off in there as they melt. So there won't be much need to run this all the time like I have been doing in the past. That's one less operation I got to worry about as we melt iron once we get that going. And yes, we're going to clean all this mess up. We're going to have a better way of doing things around here, including the barrel. This is strictly cast iron. This is going to be where my sprues, gates, runners, reject castings, and all that go. And man, we hauled, I think I made 3 runs to the scrapyard last week while it was so cold, just to get this mess cleaned up as much as I did. It may not look like I did much to some of you, but I did. And this beast, good grief, let me come around here and show you. This thing is a lot heavier than it looks. Let's go to fisheye mode. You can tell just how heavy this thing actually is. Now, it used to set right here. Hey, Jake. It used to set right here, and I wanted to center it because of the heat this is going to be putting off from the top. I wanted to get it under the highest point of the ceiling, under the peak, and centralize it there. I think I used the come along that my buddy Brian Morris gave me, the chain come along. I inched that thing over with that cheetah pipe there. It took me at least 2 or 3 hours to move it a good 16, 18 feet. But yeah, that's its final resting place. And eventually our pouring pit is going to be right here where these buckets are. We're going to have a 10 by 10 pit. So I'm not quite sure how I'm going to arrange everything yet, and we may be pouring a slab throughout the rest of this area that's under the 36 by 24 addition here. But yeah, I still got, like I said, I still got a lot of stuff to pick up and get out of the way. The kilns, I don't know if this is going to be the final resting place for them or not. I just don't know. But I want to tell you what I decided I'm going to do with this old molding machine. This thing came in a package deal, and it's frozen rock solid. This thing, nothing on it actually will work. And that's because it got flooded during a hurricane down in Louisiana. I have decided, instead of trying to fix this thing, I'm going to put it right over here. Probably right here. And I'm going to put a flagpole. We're going to paint it, of course. Sandblast it and paint it. Eddie said he's got a mobile sandblasting thing. And I'm going to try to get this to move up a little bit, and then we'll get an adapter, weld it to a pipe, and we'll have our flag. We'll put it about right here. So, and that way it won't be in the way of the power line and all that. I want to circle it with a really elaborate cast iron rail. We're probably fixing to be doing some more of those. But anyway, yep, that's going to be my flag stand. I need a parts table to be able to stack my castings as I load them into the kilns when I stress relieve. So that's what this is going to be here for. I know it's taking up floor space, but when I need a table, I'm going to need it. Now this stuff, like I said, where I'm not finished cleaning up. This is a bunch of junk that was laying around that I haven't found a home for yet, and I got to get that back in my sieve. I have a classifier. It's an elliptical. Well, I'll show you that. I've shown you in past videos with me using this thing. It's like a gyrating contraption that gobbles the sand, sieves it, and faster than you can pour a bucket in it. For those who have been asking about the Windy Hill Foundry hats, these are now available on my website, windyhillfoundry.com, under stores, or you can click on the above link. These are on the pricey side, but keep in mind the shipping is included. Have a good day.